Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Engine Builder Show. For our topic today, Gabe will be sharing with us the 5 powerful things that every website needs to convert well. Again, thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and as always, enjoy the show. Good morning, everybody.
There was always a ton to learn. All this week, we've been talking about destinations. So where are you going to send people if they're interested in working with you? How are they going to, fill out a contact form or become a lead? How are they going to make that first purchase from you? And so destinations is part of the acronym that we use, DCT, destinations, content, and traffic. So next week, we'll be talking a lot more about content. But this week, as we talk about destinations, one of the things that I've definitely run into a lot over the years is seeing somebody's website that has some components that could work, but it's not actually converting. People aren't contacting, they're not contacting the site, or they're not doing any business from it. I've actually seen sites where there's a lot of traffic at times, but there's still not any conversion. And so these 5 powerful things are really going to help you kind of hone in and refine your website. And sometimes these are really simple, small changes that you can make quickly, affordably, to make a big difference. Other times it is important to make an update or do something a little bit more major. And we are actually going to talk about that a little bit more on tomorrow's show, because all this week, like I said, we're talking about destinations. But to dive into these 5 powerful things that you need, the first thing that you need on your website is a phone number. And there are a couple exceptions to this, but generally speaking, it's really wise to have a phone number clearly listed in the header, on the contact page, in the footer, because yes, people still do call. Doesn't matter what business you're in or what space you're in. You will have people who would rather just pick up the phone and have a conversation than they would send an email, fill out a contact form, or do something else. And so it's definitely a good idea to have a phone number there, because you'll just be missing conversions if you don't have that. The second thing is to make sure that you do have easily accessible contact forms. So oftentimes when we help clients design new sites or do upgrades or improve the sites that they have, we'll put a contact form right on the homepage, because people are going to visit your homepage pretty frequently, and there's no reason not to have it there and on your contact page. And there's also times with specific high traffic blog posts or pages that are getting a lot of traffic that you can put another contact form there. A lot of times it can be the same contact form, just on different pages. And one of the things that we often do is put a simple tracking link in there that shows our client where that prospect filled the form out from. So they know it's from, a contact page or the About Us page, or anything like that. So that's really important to have easily accessible contact forms. The third thing is to make sure that you have clear calls to action across the site. So the call to action is if you want them to book a call, have a trial of your service, get a sample product, use your contact form, whatever is the first step you want them to take, make sure it's consistent across the whole site. In almost all cases, you can have the same call to action across the whole site. And we recommend having it at the top of your site, the header, so it's easily seen everywhere they're on the site, in the footer, and then also inserting it into blog posts. The footer obviously is the bottom of the site. And then inside your blog posts, you can put basically your own ad inside the blog post that says, if you need help with something, click here to book a call, contact us, whatever next step you want them to take. So if you're more consistent with putting clear calls to action across the whole site, you're going to get a much higher conversion rate. The fourth thing, which this sometimes surprises folks that we work with, but we've tested it and seen this to be statistically true, is the less animation you have and the more just clear static graphics and information you have, the better. There was definitely a trend for quite a few years in web design and development of having sliders and animations and all those types of things. And if you overdo those, what actually happens is you distract and annoy your prospect, because they don't need to see a fast slider going down. They don't need all this extra information, and you can actually drive them away from your site. The other thing that very commonly happens when you have too much animation or sliders or things like that is it'll slow down the speed of your site, which makes the person be waiting for the page to load, and they'll just exit. They won't even wait for the page to load all the way. And so there is an appropriate amount of animation. Small little details can really enhance a site, but if you overdo it, it becomes a distraction and takes away from the information and the clear call to action that you want to have. So steer away from those. There are exceptions, but generally speaking, they just don't perform well from a conversion standpoint. The fifth thing, the powerful thing that you'll need to make sure that you're getting conversion from your website is to make sure that you're sending targeted traffic from SEO, from search engines, from pay-per-click, and also from traditional media like radio, television, direct mail, things like that. Because if you're advertising in a search engine, when you're doing organic search optimization, you're going to write content and things that are around the service that you offer that will attract the people searching for those things. When you're using pay-per-click like Google ads, Facebook ads, YouTube, LinkedIn, all the different paid chat platforms, you can target people that specifically need your service. So sending targeted traffic on a consistent basis is what's going to ultimately make your site convert. And with traditional media, direct mail can have a QR code or a short URL that people can visit. With television and radio, you can have an easy to remember URL that you list and that people use, and they can search for your name. And so making sure that you're advertising to the folks that need your service is obviously how you're going to send targeted traffic. And those are the 5 powerful things that every website needs to convert well. If you're missing one of those pieces, or if it's not really set up correctly, it's going to affect how many people become leads when they visit your site. So having your phone number up there, having easily accessible contact forms, the second thing. The third thing is clear call to actions in your header, top of the site, in your blog posts and content in the middle, and in your footer, the bottom of the site. Then making sure you have the fourth thing is less animation, less sliders, like just downplay that stuff. It doesn't actually improve performance and conversion most of the time. And so it's a distraction. It can actually slow your website down. And then the fifth thing is make sure you're sending targeted traffic from people that are searching for what you need, people that are interested in your services. If you implement and optimize those 5 powerful things, then you are going to be able to have a much more successful website. And tomorrow we'll talk some more about why your website may have stopped working and ways that you can fix that. So thanks for tuning in today. If you need help with anything with your destinations, with your websites, your landing pages, even mobile apps and things like that, you can reach us at businessmarketingengine.com. We'll see you tomorrow.